Hi LEGO fans! It's time for another 2020 LEGO Harry Potter set, and this time we're heading back to Little Whinging in Surrey and the Dursley family home. Today I'm going to be unboxing, speed building, and reviewing set number 75968 for Privet Drive, a 797-piece set from LEGO Harry Potter. We'll also be comparing the new set to the 4728 Escape from Privet Drive set from 2002, and taking a look at every LEGO Flying Ford Anglia ever made. Home to Harry Potter since he was no bigger than a bowtruckle, this set recreates 4 Privet Drive as featured in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. That's why we have the Flying Ford Anglia and a certain soon-to-be-free elf. The 797-piece part count includes 6 minifigures and a little birdage. We have the boy what lived, Harry Potter, his Ford Anglia flying saviour Ron Weasley, bad-tempered walrus-moustached Uncle Vernon Dursley, Potter! Lily Potter's bitter and twisted sister Petunia Dursley, thoroughly spoiled chubster Dudley Dursley, and bat-eared therapy-seeking self-harmer Dobby the house elf. The set includes a much more complete and accurate recreation of 4 Privet Drive, including the scene where Ron rescues Harry from Dudley's second bedroom using the Flying Ford Anglia. We also have Dobby the house elf and a rather delicious looking dessert that gets dropped on the head and bespoke tailored outfit of Mrs. Mason. Over on the back of the box we get a preview of what's inside 4 Privet Drive. It's been the home to the Dursleys since they bought the Little Whinging executive home back in 1977. The upstairs is taken up by Harry Potter's bedroom, which was a reluctant upgrade from the cupboard under the stairs. Here we see Dobby the house elf being disruptive in an attempt to stop Harry Potter returning to Hogwarts. Downstairs we find the Dursleys Lounge, which is missing the guests Vernon was trying to impress with his Japanese golfer joke. Also included is the Flying Ford Anglia, which looks very similar to the one which came with the Hogwarts Whomping Willow set. Like the original Privet Drive set, we also have some features which recreate scenes from Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Here we see Uncle Vernon trying to snatch away Harry's Hogwarts invitation letter. We also have Harry's original bedroom, the cupboard under the stairs. Another neat feature inspired by the original movie is this mechanism into which we can load letters. This can be used to make a blizzard of Hogwarts invitation letters appear from the fireplace, even though it's Sunday and there's no mail. Wildlife includes a generic brown owl, and Harry Potter's snowy owl, aka that bloody pigeon, Hedwig. As a collector who likes to carefully open the boxes and store them flat, I really hate these punchy tabs. That being said, there's only one way in, so let's tear this box open and see what we've got inside. Here's everything that came inside the box, and what I find really annoying is that the sticker sheet is stuck to the front of the manual. Ah! We've got 5 numbered bags of LEGO, a 182-page instruction booklet with the sticker sheet conveniently stuck to the front, and an 8x16 troll bogey green base plate. I'm going to go ahead and put together 75968 for Privet Drive, and today this is going to be a 90-second speed build. And here is the completed 75968 4 Privet Drive from LEGO Harry Potter. Build time today was 1 hour and 25 minutes and a little bit more fiddly than I expected. Some of that was down to some pretty awkwardly shaped stickers. We're going to start out by taking a look around the outside and the inside of Privet Drive. We'll also be taking the Flying Ford Anglia for a spin, checking out the 6 minifigures, the birdage, and then we'll be comparing the 2024 Privet Drive Set to the 2002 version. Finally, as an extra bonus feature, we'll be taking a look at every LEGO Flying Ford Anglia ever made so far. We've got a lot to cover, so while Dobby's taking a sit down, and Harry's in his bedroom making no noise and pretending it doesn't exist, we're going to take a look around 4 Privet Drive. So this is 4 Privet Drive, the Dursley residence since 1977, and safe if not happy home to Harry Potter. It's quite a compact build, standing just under 8 inches tall, including the TV aerial. The choice of element for the aerial is pretty uninspired, and I wish LEGO would bring back some of these vintage TV aerials. Minor details aside, this is a great little LEGO house and a pretty good recreation of 4 Privet Drive. I think the only major detail we're missing is the built-in garage. Like the house featured in the movie, this LEGO version has a neatly tended garden. Particularly impressive is this neatly trimmed bush, which is made out of quite a few different LEGO elements. This was definitely one of the more fiddly things to put together. We also have some really nice pale blue flowers underneath the lounge window, and a more elaborate pink flowered shrub next to the door. I'm pretty sure you find these pink flowers more commonly with LEGO Friends. The front door itself comes with some rather interesting decoration. Unfortunately, that does mean a large, oddly shaped sticker. The sticker actually goes around the door handle and is really difficult to apply straight. That said, I do like the detail showing all of Harry's Hogwarts invitation letters shoved into the letterbox. On the reverse of the door you can actually see what the problem is, and this is lifted straight from the movie. Uncle Vernon screwed a plank of wood over the opening to stop the letters coming in. On the other side of the door we have a window letting some light into the cupboard under the stairs. We also have an electric light and, most annoyingly, a tiny little round sticker on a tiny little round plate. Around the side of the house we have another one of those lanterns and some really nice masonry detail. You'll also notice a downspout, or drain pipe as we call it in the UK, and there's another one up on the roof flowing down into the guttering on the porch. The layout of the upper floor, at least from an exterior perspective, is very typical for an English home. This window would belong to a larger bedroom, and the smaller one to what we might call a box room. That's a small bedroom you might give to the youngest child, or in this case Harry Potter. There is another window on the side of the house which is covered by bars. After the incident with the Masons in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Vernon Dursley punishes Harry by turning his bedroom into a virtual prison cell. This does have a neat interactive feature, but we'll come back to that soon. The thing that really impresses me about this build is the amount of time and effort the designers put into recreating 4 Privet Drive. The colour of the brickwork is very close, and we even have all of the accent bricks. But even more impressive is the way they've constructed the roof. Each alternating row of roof tiles has been offset by the height of one stud. This gives the roof a corrugated appearance which matches the roof tiles used on most new builds in the UK. It's also really cool to get the guttering, a chimney complete with chimney pot, and the flue from the gas boiler that will power the central heating system. Before we move inside, I must show you this really cool street sign. These things are pretty common in the UK, and if you watch the movies closely you will see owls perched on a Privet Drive street sign. It's a pretty simple construction and does of course use a sticker. I really do wish LEGO would give us printed elements instead of stickers. So the designers did a really good job with the outside of Privet Drive, but that is not all. Oh no, that is not all. We also have some really cool interior features. 4 Privet Drive, like most British homes, is set on 2 levels. The lower floor is missing some important rooms like the Dursleys' kitchen and conservatory, but we do have their lounge. Here we have a very tasteful lilac suite and a simple rug. I'm pretty sure this had a floral design in the movies, but it is nicely put together and I love the use of curved elements. Despite the lack of space, we do have some really nice details, including this plant on a table, and a family portrait of the Dursleys minus Harry Potter hanging above the fire. I wonder if Uncle Vernon dyed his hair and moustache for the occasion, or whether he just went grey very fast. Ironically, hidden away in the dark corner we have this decorative floor lamp, and then we get to the fireplace. There's a fun looking gear on the side, and I feel a demonstration coming on. You'll recall from Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone that there was a veritable parliament of owls trying to deliver a letter to Mr. H. Potter, the cupboard under the stairs, 4 Privet Drive, Little Whinging, Surrey. This avalanche of unsolicited mail caused Uncle Vernon to seal up the letterbox. But the scene we're focusing on here is when all the letters come down the chimney. We can recreate that moment with just a turn of the dial. It's a really simple mechanism and works like an ATM in LEGO City. We simply post the letters into the back of the chimney, and then the letters are held in place until we release the mechanism. The letters are printed 1x2 tiles and are used in a bunch of different LEGO sets. They are a really good choice, however, as we have the printed wax seal which also appears on the Hogwarts invitation. Also located on the lower level, you'll find the apples and pears, or as normal people call them, the stairs. Of course, if we have stairs, there must be a cupboard under the stairs. An authentic piece of detail is the brass ventilation plate mounted on the outside. This is of course to stop Harry suffocating, because that would be way too much paperwork for the Dursleys. You might recall Uncle Vernon yelling through this grate that there's no such thing as magic. What did he know? The door does open, but it's super fiddly to do from the inside. Thankfully, LEGO realised this would be a problem, and that's why we have hinges on the side of the house. The lantern on the side doubles up as a convenient door handle. There's just enough room in here for a bed and one of those teeny tiny Harry Potter minifigures. It also doubles up as a tool shed with sweeping brush and shovel. I guess that helps to make up for the missing garage. There's a little secret hidden away inside the cupboard, and I've had to remove the stairs so we could even see it. Here we have a selection of toys which are of course modelled on LEGO toys. You'll recall from the first movie we do see Harry playing with some toy soldiers, and then taking a sentimental look at them just before he leaves Privet Drive for the last time in the Deathly Hallows. Telling that story seemed like a good idea at the time, but now I've got to put this back together. With a little help from the mending charm Reparo, I think we're ready to move upstairs. Typically in a home of this size we would have 3 bedrooms, but for the purposes of the LEGO version we only have 1. Now occupied by Harry Potter, this is Dudley's second bedroom, which was given to Harry out of the goodness of the Dursleys' hearts. On the desk you can see a photo album which was given to Harry by Hagrid at the end of the first movie. This is a really nice recreation of one of the photos and shows Harry's parents, Lily and James. Pinned on Harry's wall you can find several pieces of art, including what I think is a picture of Hedwig, the Hogwarts house crest, and the house colours of Gryffindor. Harry's bedroom also includes a bed, and a copy of the Daily Prophet, which seems to be running an exclusive about Harry Potter the Boy Who Lived. This is of course where all the fun and games started in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Dobby engages in a little self-flagellation with a table lamp, makes a bunch of noise which spoils the punchline to Uncle Vernon's Japanese golfer joke, and it's a miracle that Dobby didn't need treatment from the National Elf Service. Sadly, LEGO didn't give us any minifigures to represent Mr. and Mrs. Mason, but I was able to get Nancy G. Roman to stand in at short notice. If you know what she's famous for and shout it out in the comments, you'll get a personal thumbs up from me. Of course, Mrs. Mason ends up covered in layers of meringue, whipped cream and cherries, but that gives me a nice segue into the next bit. LEGO included this delicious looking pavlova, which is a meringue based dessert, and it is a really nice recreation of the one we saw in the movie. It also comes on a transparent stand to give the illusion that Dobby is making it float. After all the shenanigans with Dobby and the Masons, Uncle Vernon blows his top, locks Harry in his room and puts bars on the windows. While I totally understand that Harry doesn't want to use magic to escape and get himself into trouble with the Ministry, could he not just have simply escaped from one of the other 2 windows that didn't have bars? Okay, so the bedroom isn't exactly movie accurate, but this thing is. Ron has come to rescue Harry in Arthur Weasley's enchanted Ford Anglia, but seems to have forgotten Fred and George. Thankfully Ron has come equipped and seems to have everything you need for stealing ATM machines. Thankfully the chain works equally well for breaking into Muggle houses. Unfortunately, ripping the bars off the window isn't exactly a stealthy attempt at escape. Potter! You and that bloody pigeon aren't going anywhere! Uncle Vernon tries to grab the Ford Anglia and ends up falling out of the window. Thankfully, depending on your perspective, Uncle Vernon falls into a bush and saves Harry about 15 years in juvie. Getting back to the Ford Anglia, which was the 105E Deluxe model, one of these belongs to 4 Privet Drive and the other one to the Hogwarts Whomping Willow set from 2018. This enchanted Ford Anglia belongs to Muggle-loving Arthur Weasley. As well as being able to fly, it also has something called the invisibility booster, which makes it invisible to Muggles. In fact, the boffins at LEGO managed to include an invisibility booster in this set. Invisibility booster on, invisibility booster off. If yours doesn't work, you might want to check the batteries. It's a well-constructed car with a rigid chassis, unlike the original Ford Anglia. That means it'll stand up to some enthusiastic play from adult fans of LEGO. At the front we have a grille, headlamps, and then that license plate. I don't know if there's any significance to 7990TD, but the number 7 is regarded as a very important magical number. Just like the real thing, it comes in this pale blue colour which is very susceptible to light damage. This is a partly restored Ford Anglia from the 2002 Escape from Privet Drive set. You'll notice some of the parts are faded, and that's exactly what sunlight does. Just like the 2018 version, this has a Go Faster stripe along the side, and the printing on the door is as bad as ever. The doors do open, but thankfully we have a removable roof to get minifigures in and out. Ron would like to take a seat inside the car, but he's got some kind of genetic defect which means he can't sit down. You can stand the minifigures inside the car, but then Ron can't really reach the steering wheel, and God knows how he's going to reach the pedals. Thankfully this is a wizard story and we can explain everything away with magic. The interior of the car is even more basic than the real thing, and it literally is standing room only. All we have in here is a steering wheel. I hate stickers on LEGO sets at the best of times, but having a sticker on a window is really lazy. On the 2018 version on the left you'll notice LEGO used actual parts and it looks so much better. Another difference can be found on the hood, or bonnet as they call it in the UK. The 2020 version loses those 2 studs. Another difference can be found in the headlights. In 2018 the trans yellow headlights had studs, while the newer version has flat plates with no studs. You'll find the same substitution of elements around the back with the brake lights. Also upgraded for 2020 is the trunk. We've lost the protruding license plate we had in 2018, and the trunk panel itself is now made out of more LEGO elements. The final details worth noting are the shorter roof rails on the 2020 version, and the redesigned rear windshield. Still to come, we're going to be comparing the 2020 Privet Drive Set to the 2002 Privet Drive Set, and taking a look at every LEGO Flying Ford Anglia ever made. Before we do that, let's check out the minifigures. We've got 6 minifigures in total with an interesting mix of magical and non-magical folk. Harry Potter, Ron Weasley, Dobby the House Elf, Dudley Dursley, Petunia Dursley, and Vernon Dursley. If you are hoping to see brand new Ron and Harry minifigures in this set, then you are going to be disappointed. These guys give me a distinct sense of deja vu. Winding the clock back to 2018, these are exactly the same Harry and Ron minifigures we got with 75953 Hogwarts Whomping Willow. The minifigures are a good choice for this set as the costumes match those worn by Ron and Harry in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. They both have very short legs reflecting the character's stature in the 2002 movie. Harry's black legs are paired with a printed torso showing a blue and red check shirt over a blue t-shirt. Around the back you'll see a little bit more of that printed detail along with some creases. The face is very recognisable as a younger Harry Potter, although it does seem a little bit cartoonish. Personally I prefer the alternate expression which shows a much more shocked Harry. The hair is perfect for the character and shows Harry's messed up hairstyle. In particular I love the way a gap is left for the lightning shaped scar. Ron's costume, also movie accurate, shows him wearing a striped sweater over an orange t-shirt. We get a continuation of the print around the back with some creases showing this is probably a little bit too big for Ron. The face is, dare I say, cute, and I love the addition of the freckles to go with the red hair. The alternate expression keeps the freckles but depicts a very much more terrified Ronald Weasley. Being a Weasley, he does of course have the trademark red hair. This shows Ron with a slightly longer shoulder length cut. The final magically gifted being for this set is Dobby the House Elf. A house elf is a magical being which is immensely devoted and loyal to the one designated as their master. After being disloyal to his master Lucius Malfoy, Dobby feels compelled to iron his hands. When I first saw this minifigure, I thought it might be identical to the one from Harry Potter Collectible Minifigures Series 1. As you can see, these two guys are remarkably similar. Other than slight colour variations, the torsos are almost identical. The expressions though are just different enough. The face of bat-eared self-harmer Dobby in this set has a little smile. Clearly there's no alternate expression with the specially sculpted head. This is actually made out of quite a squishy plastic. The costume is a really nice print and shows Dobby wearing rags as a mark of servitude. We even have a dual moulded pair of legs for that colour consistency. There have actually been 4 Dobby minifigures to date, and you can see them here arranged in chronological order from 2002 to 2020. The 2002 version is by far the creepiest with those soulless dead eyes. He comes from set number 4731, Dobby's Release. That's a vintage set review for another time. Finally, for the minifigures, we come to the Dursley family, two of which have never appeared in minifigure form before. Wife to Vernon, mother to Dudley, and sister to Lily Potter, this is Petunia Dursley, born in around 1960 as Petunia Evans. Whilst rewatching the Philosopher's Stone and the Chamber of Secrets researching this video, I was really struggling to find Petunia wearing this particular costume. Last night I happened to be watching The Prisoner of Azkaban and boom, there it was! Petunia wears this very distinctive blouse when Aunt Marge comes to dinner. Around the back you can see more of that printed detail showing autumn leaves. The facial expression is too generic and I'm sure this has been used in other minifigures. It just doesn't look like Petunia. There is an alternate expression on the back of the head which shows Petunia looking a little bit more aghast. The hair is going in the right direction, being wavy and about shoulder length. Potter abusing magic denier Petunia Dursley is a good enough minifigure, I just wish they'd paid a little bit more attention to that facial print. Next we have Dudley Dursley, who is also known by some other names. Dudders, Ickle Dudleykins, Popkin, Diddy, Diddykins, My Neffy Poo, Big D, Dud, and Dinky Diddydums. That's not an exhaustive list and other nicknames may apply. Dudley was an obese and insolent bully as a result of his parents spoiling him constantly. The costume is absolutely perfect and is what Dudley wore on his birthday in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. As well as tan pants, he's wearing a red Argyle sweater complete with blue shirt. We get some more of that pattern on the back of the torso, but it's a shame we don't have any arm printing. The facial print is kind of there and shows a very smug looking Dudley. We also have some detail on the chin, kind of alluding to the fact that he may have eaten too many pies. The alternate expression is a little less typical for Dudley. I guess this could be useful for recreating the scene where Dudley falls into the snake exhibit at London Zoo. The hair looks very familiar indeed, and dare I venture to say it looks awesome. Yes, it turns out that Dudley goes to the same stylist as Emmett Prokowski. Finally, we have walrus moustache wearing, bad-tempered Uncle Vernon Dursley. This is not Vernon's first appearance as a minifigure, as he also appeared in the 4728 Escape from Privet Drive Set from 2002. You'll find a review of that on my channel and we'll be taking a brief look in just a moment. Muggle Vernon was a former student of Smelting's Academy and a director of the Grunnings Drill Manufacturing Company. As well as plain minifigure legs, he wears a shirt and jumper in a very similar style to Dudley. Unusually, we don't have any printing on the back of the torso. The facial expression shows a predictably unhappy Uncle Vernon. Around the back, however, he does manage to raise an uncharacteristic smile. The hairstyle is a very good fit and shows a grey-haired Vernon Dursley which matches his moustache. I'm not entirely sure why LEGO thought in 2002 that Vernon should be a ginger. Again, with these 2020 minifigures, I find myself thinking these are good, but could have been a lot better with more detail. Also, where the heck are Fred and George, who should be in the flying car? Speaking of flying cars, we're going to be taking a look at every LEGO Flying Ford Anglia in just a minute. Before then, let's compare the 2002 Privet Drive to the 2020 version and figure out which one of these is the best. So as promised, here are both of the Privet Drive sets. 4728 Escape from Privet Drive, which was released in 2002, and the brand new 75968 for Privet Drive from 2020. As you can see, these are very different sets from very different times. I did a pretty detailed review of the 2002 set fairly recently, so I'm not going to go into too much detail here. But I thought it would be fun to take a quick look at these sets side by side and point out some of the differences. The most obvious difference is for Privet Drive itself. The 2020 version, at least from the outside, is a pretty accurate recreation of the Dursleys' home. The same cannot be said for the earlier set. The colours are all wrong and the shape of the house is all wrong and it's just not right. What I do approve of is the use of a printed part for the number 4. Okay, this should be round, but I'm going to give LEGO a point here. The interior features of both Privet Drive sets are also very different. There are some recognisable features in the older set, but not very many. For example, we do have a bed underneath the stairs, but LEGO totally forgot to install a cupboard. Then we come to Dudley's second bedroom, which is missing important features like the bed. Thankfully, LEGO didn't forget the all-important interactive feature with the breakaway window. Taking a slightly different approach, we can also make the mail appear from the chimney. The other big difference with the two sets comes down to the minifigures. The 2002 set included Ron Weasley, Harry Potter, and Uncle Vernon. Because flesh-coloured faces weren't introduced to licensed sets until 2004, we do of course have yellow faces here. Whilst not perfect, the 2020 minifigures are a lot better, but I do miss that yellow-faced charm. Harry and Ron sure have changed a lot in 18 years. You can also see big differences between the 2002 and 2020 Flying Ford Anglias. Both are instantly recognisable, but the 2002 version is clearly a lot bigger. The older car is maybe a stud or two longer, and is taller to accommodate the bigger minifigures. Now that I look at it, it's also missing side mirrors. Staying on the subject of the Flying Ford Anglia, here is almost every Flying Ford Anglia LEGO I've ever made. There is one notable exception which is not in my collection. It's a small scale version which appeared in the LEGO Dimensions Harry Potter Team Pack. While the basic look of the Ford Anglia has not changed, the way LEGO puts these together has changed a lot over 18 years. The first Flying Ford Anglia came in set number 4728, Escape from Privet Drive, in 2002. After a wait of 8 years, the Flying Ford Anglia reappeared in 2010 in the 4841 Hogwarts Express set. In 2016, it appeared in the Harry Potter Team Pack from LEGO Dimensions. 2018 was a good year for flying blue cars, and we actually got 2 of them. This by now familiar version came in the 75953 Hogwarts Whomping Willow set. Consisting of just 4 elements, we got a micro-scale version of the Flying Ford Anglia with the 71043 Hogwarts Castle. Finally, we come full circle with the 2020 version, although admittedly this only has minor upgrades from the 2018 car. So out of all of the minifigure scale Ford Anglias, which one is the best? I think my least favourite version has to be the 2010 car, mostly because of those rims which really don't match the Ford Anglia. The 2002 version was a chunky and robust build and great fun to play with. The chrome grills were also a nice touch, but I'm going to mark it down because of those ridiculously oversized tyres. Ultimately, it comes down to the 2018 and 2020 versions. The ridiculous stickering on the 2020 version cost it top spot. And so my favourite Flying Ford Anglia so far is the 2018 version, which came with the Hogwarts Whomping Willow set. What I would like to see is a much bigger scale version of this from the LEGO Creator Expert range. Now that, as well as anything else that LEGO slaps the Harry Potter logo on, I would definitely buy. So that was set number 75968 for Privet Drive from LEGO Harry Potter. This was definitely a worthy upgrade from the 2002 set, and incorporated some really nice features for storytelling. But the thing that impresses me most about this set is how much it actually looks like Privet Drive. To illustrate that point, check out this screen grab from Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. It's clear that the designers paid a lot of attention to the movie, even down to details such as the positioning of the lamp in the porch, that small window, and even the number 4 plate. The minifigure lineup was somewhat more complete, although it was a shame we didn't get Fred and George. Those minifigures for the time being remain exclusive to the Diagon Alley set. This set was fun to build with the exception of the stickering, looks great from the outside, and I like the interactive features included in the fireplace and also with the pull-out window. It's a great little LEGO set, especially if you like Harry Potter, and retails for $70 US, €70 or 65 Great British pounds. Next time we'll be hanging out with Grawpy and checking out the 75967 Forbidden Forest Umbridge's Encounter. I really hope you enjoyed this LEGO Harry Potter unboxing, speed build and review video. If you did, a thumbs up is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for a bunch more LEGO Harry Potter content. Thanks a million for checking out the review, stay safe, and we'll see you on the next build video.